Hi everyone, this video is going to be a sort of van life essentials video covering things like some of the boring stuff, insurance, and what you do for registered address if you live in a vehicle full time. And then some other things like toilets and where I find water and stuff like that. And then anything that doesn't fit in this video, because there were quite a few things I wanted to cover, I will pop them in another video at some stage. I hope you will find this interesting or useful, or hopefully both. And if you do, please just drop me a comment below. I will start with something that's really boring, and that is insurance. So when you just getting distracted by fungi. When you live in your vehicle full time, normal car insurance does not cover it. So you can either have insurance that probably won't pay out, or you have to get specific, like full timer insurance where they actually know that you live in your vehicle. And what little I know from other people that do this full time is that that's what they've gone for. I'm sure there are some people going on normal insurance and just flying under the radar. That doesn't really work if you're putting yourself on a YouTube channel, because it's pretty obvious that this is what you do full time. So I had a bit of a panic, not exactly panic, but a bit of a frantic couple of weeks before I moved into my van, when I discovered this, realised I wasn't going to be able to get it through a normal company, and then also discovered that a lot of the companies that say that they insure people to stay in a van either only do it part-time, or they only do like traditional motorhomes, and they don't cover like self-builds and stuff that isn't classed as a motorhome with DVLA and things. So this is obviously all UK specific. I don't really know how it works for anywhere else, but in the UK, if you want to actually be insured living full-time in your van, I could only find one company that would do that. I'm not sure if anyone else will, but they're Adrian Flux, and I bought my insurance with them. It covers me living in it full time. I also have some business miles on there for when I'm driving around for photography and things, so that I'm covered for that. And it wasn't cheap, but it's my home at the end of the day, and it's still a lot cheaper than rent. So it was definitely the right decision for me. I have, I just reached into my rucksack pocket a sec. So this is who they are. Adrian Flux. I also have key cover with them, because it would seem silly when it's your home not to add on a tiny bit for key cover, because otherwise I might get locked out of my home or something. I just don't want to think about stuff like that. So that's why I have insurance, and definitely worth getting. If anyone out there knows other companies that will insure people living in a van full time that's not a proper motorhome, then let me know so that I have more options next year, because it's very hard to argue about price with somebody when no one else will offer to insure you. You're kind of stuck with what they give you. But that's insurance. So insurance kind of leads me on to breakdown cover. And again, when you live in your home, you don't really want to get stuck somewhere if you have any problems. So I went for that through the insurance company, because it just made sense. I think it covers me for a certain amount of time in Europe, which I probably will not use this year, but maybe next year. But yeah, it's just need to look where I'm going for a sec. It's, in my opinion at least, worth having breakdown cover. Oh, I'm back on the main track. Worth having breakdown cover, just to know that you're sorted if something goes wrong, because I don't want to get stranded somewhere. And at the end of the day, when your vehicle is your home, whether it's a van, a car, whatever, if you're in a position to pay for breakdown cover and insurance, it is certainly worth having. then there's the issue of having a registered address, which, as much as I don't have a fixed address and do move around, you still need a registered address to be able to do most things, which I imagine is very difficult for people that don't have other options. But it's just the way our system works. So if you need your bank account, your car insurance, your car registration, like everything needs to go to an address. And I'm also somebody that likes to vote. So I am registered to a friend's address in Scotland. They're friends that I have known for a very long time and trust, and can just ask them to open my mail if I'm not stopping by for a while. I did think about registering everything to my parents' address, but they live in Devon, which is somewhere that I don't go very often. Scotland's been my home for a few years, so I kind of wanted my address to stay here. We also had elections this year, so I wanted to be able to vote. So I'm registered at a friend's house. That is my official address, but obviously I don't actually live there. It's very nice of them to let me do that. But yeah, to kind of get anything sorted out, also like doctors, that's where I'm registered with a doctor. I have a repeat prescription, so I can't just not have a doctor. Yeah, so you do have to, if you decide to live in your van full time, certainly in the UK, you kind of need somewhere to register stuff. And I imagine that is the same in most countries. Just adds another layer of complication. I'm just very lucky that I've got the people I do to leave stuff with. When it comes to parking up for the night, it's different for everyone. I like to be on my own in a quiet spot in the woods or with a good view as much as possible. It's generally not hard to find places to park in most of Scotland. A lot of people use the Park for Night app. For me, this spoils a lot of the fun of finding awesome places you weren't expecting, but I do find it useful if I need to be in a particular area I don't know, or when I'm in England. My general rules are avoiding places where I can be seen by residential properties, not parking anywhere that might obstruct access, and not parking where there's no overnight parking signs. I tend to like spots in woodlands or beside water. Woodland walk car parks can be great. Most country parks in Scotland allow overnight parking, and the Forestry Commission have been running a stay the night scheme at a lot of their car parks. I don't usually struggle for somewhere to park, but this does depend a little on the area. I especially love finding somewhere that only has enough space for silver. Don't get me wrong though, sometimes I do like to be sociable. I use Google Maps to tag a lot of the parking spots I've stayed at, or just ones I've driven past during the day and think would make a good spot. I've been doing this for years, so I have quite a collection going. I also mark other useful things like recycling points and public toilets. When it comes to ventilation, I have these great wind rain deflectors. I had these on my first Berlingo. So this means I can leave the front windows open a crack and no rain gets in. So other than if it's really, really midgy somewhere, I do that every night. I have both front windows open a little bit. In the summer, that generally means that nothing really steams up. In the autumn, even with my blinds up and stuff, the front tends to end up a little bit steamed up, but not as bad as it would be without the windows open. So the side windows don't get so much on them. It's the best I can do. It means I've got some kind of airflow during the night. It's lovely in the summer because I just don't have to clean any windscreens and stuff unless it's been really wet. But when it's wet and rainy in the autumn, stuff steams up overnight. You get condensation. I just make sure that I ventilate everything in the morning. So at the moment, my back window is open. My side doors have been open. The front doors are open, and I'm about to start up and clear that windscreen and dry it off. I have this scraper that works a treat for clearing the windscreen. You can also get electric ones that collect the water, but they take up more space and also need charging, so this works well for me. Something I get asked about a lot is how I deal with toilets, especially from women and girls, because I think it's just more of a concern than it is to men. So when I am in, like, if I'm near populated areas and there's public toilets, I use public toilets because why not? And then if I'm out in the woods and things, I'll pretty much just pee in the bushes somewhere. I use like reusable pee cloths that I just wash every day and then also put in the wash so that I don't end up with a load of toilet paper, because you can't leave that lying around, and that would stink out my van. I spent a lot of time doing sort of field work out in the forest, so peeing out in nature was not new to me. If it is chucking it down with rain overnight, or I'm somewhere that I can't get out and go outside during the day or at night, then I have a bottle that I go in. It also gets used as my like grey water. So if I wash myself in the evening and I can't chuck it straight in a bush because of where I am, or it's chucking it down with rain again, then it goes in here, which is why it looks a bit soapy inside. So that is my backup bottle. And then for the other side of things, I have a couple of shovels. This is my like travel one that goes hiking and stuff with me. I'm usually in the woods somewhere, so that's quite easy. And then I use little compostable dog poo bags to bag my toilet paper and then just chuck that in a bin somewhere. If you're planning to start wild camping or living out of a van or doing whatever and being out in nature a lot, then if you're not familiar with it, do read up on like Leave No Trace and what you should do not leaving toilet paper lying around, and where it's safe to dig a hole and things like that, if you're not sure about any of it, because it's worth knowing. So then I have one last sort of resource when it comes to toilet stuff, and this is like my emergency toilet, which looks like this. My mother bought me this because when I was moving into the van, it was lockdown, and she wanted me to have a backup. I have used it 3 times in just over 8 months, and I have been really, really grateful for it those 3 occasions, because there has not been another option. So I love having it, but I don't use it that often. I will show you how this works. So inside the bag is a toilet. I actually have this like bagged up and ready to go, because if I am using it, it's usually a little bit of an emergency, or it can be. This is a bibby loo. It's from a company called Carp Life. You can get them on their website or on eBay, and it comes with the bags, some powder, and also wipes. This is set to treat 2 litres of waste, up to 2 litres of waste, and make anything wet into a gel so that you don't end up with issues with the bag. So the toilet just kind of pops up really easily. It has these little pops inside it, and you just pop the whole thing up, and then you end up with like a very firm toilet. You just pop it on the ground, and it's a toilet. I've sat on it. It definitely holds my weight. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, which is reassuring. So you basically pop the bag in, pop the powder inside, obviously out of the sachet, pop the powder in, and you have an emergency toilet ready to go. And then you can just tie it up at the end and pop it in a bin as soon as possible. It's not the most eco-friendly way, I guess, of doing things, because you are chucking your waste in a plastic bag, but it's a good backup to have, and I have definitely been grateful for it the times that I've used it. When it comes to putting this down, you just push back in where the little lever bits are. I just find it a little bit more fiddly than setting it up, but there you go. It just compresses back down and then will fit back in its little bag. There is a reason that I'm doing this floating in the air and not on the ground, and that's because all the ground is wet and muddy, and this is going back under my bed. The like wipes and powder and bags and stuff that comes with the toilet, you can buy extras of these. So they come with 12 bags and 12 sachets of powder and a little packet of wipes, and then you can just buy an extra one. My mum bought me a spare set when she was buying it for me, because she didn't know how often I was going to use it. Neither did I. So I am set for quite a while. I just wanted to point out here that I do use natural products and biodegradable products and things. So when I am sort of chucking wastewater into the bushes or something, for starters, it's a really small amount of water, because I keep very small water tanks. So I use quite a small amount of water to wash, but also the soaps and stuff are all biodegradable. It's the same if I'm, washing out and about anywhere or in a river or something. It's all biodegradable stuff. So I'm not like polluting with a load of chemicals.
When it comes to water, there's a few ways I fill up. There's these great Scottish Water top-up taps across Scotland, and I often use them. Both my 5 and 10 litre water tanks fit under these taps, which works really well. Anytime I'm stopping by friends and family, I'll generally make sure I'm topped up before I head off again. If I'm out, away from people I know, and also these top-up taps, I use my water filter and fill up from a river or stream. It takes a while, but it's free water, and I'm a little opposed to buying water from shops, especially as it comes in plastic bottles. My water filter is a Grail ultralight water purifier. I picked it for a few reasons. It's small, I can take it out on hikes with me, plus the filter cartridge lasts up to 3 years and you can buy replacement cartridges.